Music theory versus music science. Why music science is more important.
Notice how like this cup's like as big as my forehead? It's coffee, I swear. Recently, I've gotten a DM on Facebook Messenger from an artist, an indie artist, from an indie artist group, asking about what music science is. And how this happened was, I noticed that a lot of people were talking about music theory in the group. So I made a post saying, why doesn't anybody ever mention music science? So that post started getting traction, it started getting attention. People were bashing me, saying like, oh, what the fuck is that? It's something made up. The mods fucking deleted my post. And they were arguing with me saying, oh, we're tired of people talking about music theory. It's like, music science and music theory is not the same thing. 10% of the people who commented in that post were humble enough to actually ask me what the fuck I was talking about instead of just attacking me. So I had a few people ask me what music science was. And that's what inspired me to make this video, right? Now, music science, what separates music science from music theory is that music theory is literally a language. Music theory is the language of music. It's how you are able to interpret the symbols in sheet music, the notes and knots, and what it interprets on a keyboard or any instrument, essentially. Music science, on the other hand, is how sound works. Okay? It's literally how sound is created. It's the science behind how sound is made. The first thing we're going to mention is that in order for sound to be made, there has to be oxygen. Sound cannot be created without oxygen. That's why they say in outer space, it's very quiet. The only way there's oxygen in outer space is from like spacecrafts and shit, and spaceships. So if a spaceship explodes, there may be a sound because the oxygen from the explosion comes out from the ship. So we got that out of the way. You need oxygen to create sound. And why do you need oxygen to create sound? Sound is created by vibrations. The vibrations create frequencies. But in order for the frequencies to make sound, they have to travel, okay? If there's no air, the frequency can't travel, right? That's why if you lower the volume, you're not actually suppressing sound. If you lower volume, what you're doing is you're pushing sound away. Sound, you can't kill sound by lowering the volume. All you're doing is pulling or pushing sound. You're pushing it further away from you when you lower the volume, and you're pulling it closer to you when you raise the volume up. Because sound travels through frequency. Let's put it this way. Okay, frequencies and vibration. So vibration, depending on how fast or slow it is, it will create a frequency. If the vibration is fast, it creates a high pitch frequency. If the vibration is slow, it creates a low frequency, bass. And in between the bass and the gain is treble. Here's where it gets tricky. Treble is obviously the mid vibration. It's a vibration that's not too fast and it's not too slow. So it's in the middle. I'm gonna give the best example I know how to give. You ever notice how a church bell sounds a lot deeper and like more booming than a Christmas bell? Like a church bell's like boom, and a Christmas bell's like nin, 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 nin. Okay, that's because of mass. A church bell is bigger. It has more mass, it's heavier. So the vibrations are slower, which create lower frequency sounds, like bass. The Christmas bell is tinier, has less mass, so the vibrations are faster, which makes it have a higher pitch. This is very important when it comes to music mixing and mastering, audio engineering. Like, audio engineers know music science best because they have to deal with frequencies all the time. That's how you get top-notch sounding music in the industry. because they know how to take the vocals and the instrumental and they know how to separate the frequencies so they don't clash. This brings us to the question: how does music science affect artists? Without music science, it's just you're not gonna get a clarity in your sound. It's more important to have clarity in your sound, because if people can't hear your music clearly, it doesn't matter how much music theory you know. So this begs the question: why is music science so obscure? Well, I have two theories. No pun intended. One is that a lot of artists have music science and music theory confused. A lot of artists, when I talk to them about their production process, they talk about frequencies as if it's a part of music theory. Music theory is literally just knowing what a scale is, chords, how to explain certain tones. Like if you're a vocalist and you're able to say, oh, that's an A major or a C minor, like that's music theory. But a lot of artists get it confused and think that mixing and mastering involves music theory and frequencies. No, like that's all music science. Which brings me to my second theory, is that the only people who really need to know this are audio engineers. And most artists, they don't mix and master their own shit. They just hire audio engineers, which is a smart thing to do, because if you're not good at something, hire somebody else for it. Instead of just consuming time to learn that, you're gonna double down on what you're good at, which if you're an artist is more than likely being a vocalist, a rapper, a singer, a songwriter. You don't specialize in audio engineering, so you just hire somebody else to do it. So that's the reason why I believe it's so obscure to a lot of indie artists. Obviously, in like the industry, they know this shit. Record labels know this shit. They know what needs to be done to make industry quality sound, because they're part of the industry, and they know about marketing, but that's a whole nother video. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say that I appreciate it. You took the time out to watch this. And if you could, please hit the like button and subscribe so I can make more videos like this. It'll put me up into the algorithm. It's going to help me, and it's going to help consumers as well. That way they can see this video. All right, fam. You have a good night or a good day, depending on where you are in the world. And just remember, when you feel afraid, do it anyway. This will make you brave.